going on, everybody? It's Dan Baird with Great River Mushrooms. How's everybody doing today? We are live, about to do a live in the lab episode. And if you guys have joined me, I am Dan Baird with Great River Mushrooms, located in Quincy, Illinois. And we're going to do some work today in my lab and show you how to do some mushroom growing. Let's get some music going, get some people in here, and give a giveaway going. And for the first time today, we are actually live on Facebook. I've never been live on Instagram. And so we'll see how that goes over there. I just added the Instagram live. So let's add our other camera. We got the lab cam in there right now. That's downstairs in my lab. And if you don't know, I grow mushrooms in my house. My business is in my house. And so we're gonna do a giveaway as well. Let's get that giveaway going while I have it up here. Let's give away some lion's mane. As you know, actually, I need to take my lion's mane. I take 1,500 milligrams a day. I actually sell it on my website, $13 a piece for a whole month's worth of lion's mane. Really good for cognitive effects. So I'm gonna take mine. And it helps you get through the holiday as well. So how's everybody doing today? What's going on, Michael, Alex? Don't forget to hit that like reaction button. Let's get this out and get some people educated on exactly what I do. And I need to get that hashtag right there. We're going to do a hashtag today, brain fog. You can make that a little bigger so you can see it. If I can zoom in. The brain fog is a hashtag. I'm going to give away a bottle of lion's mane. I need to get some more tags out in here and share some more out. If you could please share out as well, I'd appreciate it much. I hope everybody had a great holiday. I did as well. It was actually one of the better Christmases I've had, and hope everybody did have the same thing. I know there's a lot of people struggling out there, and I was thinking about you sending positive vibes your guys' way, whether you got somebody in the hospital or just feeling lonely this year. I hope everybody's all right, man. Share out to a couple more groups. I need to have a longer intro so I can do all the shares then. There's 10 or 15, 12 groups to share to. If I can find them all. But I appreciate you guys all being here today. We got my mushroom business is just, I'd say the off season's about over. We're going into the spring season. That starts, months ahead of time, as well as we have a farmer's market now in Quincy that actually starts in January 6th in Quincy, Illinois. There's going to be an indoor farmer's market. So that'll be interesting. It's going to be the first time they actually have it. So hopefully we get a lot of people there. I'm hoping to make some money and make more money in the winter when it's kind of our off season. What's going on, Michael? How you doing? I'm gonna hit that. I think I shared all my could there. Let me go to my groups now. And you see the other camera there? That actually is my lab. It's actually actually I call it my lab because it's a clean room, and I do a lot of work in there, and I only take a shower after there. I kind of have very stringent things of how clean it is, and that's actually where majority of my cultivation and mushroom cultivation actually goes. And they're looking right now at the vent that brings in the air. That actually, I do sterile work in front of you because you need a sterile environment. So that thing actually blows in sterile air through a pre-filter and then 2 other filters as well. So, again, I have that brain fog. We're giving away some lion's mane. I'm going to be live for a while, so I don't expect you to stay here. Just hit that like button, hit that hashtag, and if you got a dash, it's all right, man. I appreciate you at least stopping by and saying hi. But sometimes I'm live for like 2 to 3 hours on these lives in the lab, so. And let me start tagging some people now. That's something I need to do more, and I don't do as much. If you could tag some friends in too, hopefully everybody probably at home. I know some people have the day off. I know some people are going back to work, and I'm gonna go. I've been off because we're not doing any roofing right now, but I'm of course doing the mushroom business, which I'm doing today. This is actually considered part of my work, so stuff I do down there, it's part of Great River Mushrooms business. And we actually have another course. I know there's a lot of people interested in mushroom cultivation. That we have two courses coming up this spring of how to grow mushrooms in 2 different locations in Illinois. One will be in Quincy, Illinois, and the other will be in Macomb, Illinois, at their Gardener's Palette event. As it gets closer, I'll definitely put some stuff out there about it. I know there's a lot of people interested in how to grow mushrooms at home, and it's about a 2-hour course, so. But I hope everybody got some good stuff for Christmas. I did. I got a lot of mushroom stuff and cannabis related stuff. And I'll have to show it to you here in a minute. I'm still getting some tags out. I appreciate you coming in here. Appreciate all you guys. Again, we're giving away some of that Lion's Mane, so make sure you hit that hashtag brain fog, which is what Lion's Mane does, which is what I'm having some difficulty with this morning. I got a little brain fog, but I kind of took my Lion's Mane late. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. But it's interesting, this live on Instagram has no viewers, but I've never dealt with this before. So we're live on Instagram as well. And maybe I need to move to this screen so people know. There we go. While we get this all set up. But smoke some cannabis too before we go down in the garden and show you some improvements I've actually done this last month. Or this last week, and the improvements happened because I had a machine that actually broke, so I had to, basically get a new machine that's better than the other one, so I had to make some other improvements as well, which I'll show you when we go down there. But I think we've almost tagged all of our stuff out. I just can't spell today. What the crap? I think we tagged everybody out. Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you guys. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. I got some Pauhua cannabis here. I'm going to smoke here. And I got some coffee I'm enjoying. And going to do some mushroom cultivation today. These are some of the gifts I got for Christmas. They're actually pretty cool. This is a cannabis bowl coffee cup. There's the how you smoke out of, and there's a carb on it. There's the carb. It looks handmade. It really does, but it's pretty cool looking. That's gonna be cool to try out. This is a massive coffee cup. Got a whole bunch of ornaments, mushroom ornaments, of course. These are pretty awesome. And a 5 zodiac sign. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that. That's interesting. Cheers, folks. I hope everybody is having the greatest Christmas ever. It's actually the day after Christmas. And it feels like Christmas because I've been off all week. And I wish I'd been working, but it's a little too cold to do roofing. So I'm trying to do some construction jobs here next week. And I got some other projects going. So if anybody in the Quincy area or a 30-mile radius of Quincy is looking for any kind of construction work, I have 15 years of experience as a general contractor, and I'm only free for the next 3 months. So any kind of project in that time frame, just holler at me and I'll get you a free estimate. So I imagine after Christmas, I'm going to start getting a lot of estimates because it's really hard to get people interested in what they're doing to their house until after the holidays because everybody is so into the holidays. Cheers, folks. And again, we're giving away some of that lion's mane. It's 500 milligrams, 60 capsules. We only got 2 people in here, but whether it's 2 or 4 or 5 or 20, somebody's going to win it today. And we're about to go down into the mushroom lab anyway and start doing work. And I'll show you guys. We'll have 2 camera views of all the stuff I do down there. We are also having the giveaway on Friday. This Friday, we're going to have 10 giveaways. It's the Great River Mushrooms Christmas party. And 10 different giveaways of all of the products that we offer. So everybody come join. And we'll have people up on screen. Everybody is welcome. Cheers. We're going to hit this again, and then we're going down there and start doing this. All right. And before I go down there, I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. It's going to have to be sterile. Better that way. As I said, the commercial part of this is in the basement. It doesn't actually take a lot of room to grow mushrooms. It just takes some special equipment. And some of the special equipment is in this room here that is the fruiting chamber. And it's basically the heart of this whole business. And you can't really have a mushroom business without this chamber. And right now it's kind of empty. Like I said, we're in the slow part of mushroom season. Being in winter, we don't have any winter markets around here until January 6th. So we're very limited of where we can sell it. And I just sprayed this all with bleach too, so I'm trying to stay away because this is what I actually do. I just started some new protocols because you have to basically have a lot of protocols to keep this place fucking clean. And one of them is actually the whole tent now once a week with bleach water, and I just use a gallon of bleach to a third cup of bleach to a gallon of water, and spray down everything, the shelves, and I'm going to really work on keeping it very sterile this year, something that I didn't do very well last year, especially during the summer when you get a lot more bacteria and a lot more trichodermia, which is what a lot of us mushroom farmers battle. Trichodermia is the blue mold that you see kind of growing on the bread all the time. So we only have like a couple blocks in here, and like a lot of these blocks aren't going to fruit because we had an equipment that broke down last week, which I'm kind of waiting for it to go on to show you because it's about to go on. So right inside this machine is an atomizer. This is actually something I made. And then an atomizer is it's a fogging machine that actually uses these discs that vibrate. And then they actually make fog. And as you can see, it's pumping out fog now, especially down there. So this thing will fog this whole room up in a matter of, a couple minutes. We can shut this and actually see. And once you shut the door, you'll actually see how much it fogged up. I think this thing pumps 4 gallons of water into the air, 4 gallons per hour. So it does pump a lot of water. You can see it's already pretty foggy in there, if you can see in there. But the whole room will actually fog up. You won't be able to really see anything. And then the moisture will fall on the mushrooms. And basically, the mushrooms really like the moisture. So when that really fine fog falls on the mushrooms, and then you have the air sweep across it and actually dry the humidity off, that's when mushrooms really grow well. And that's what they really like to grow in. So you can actually see it starting to pour out of the tent. There's so much fog in here. And sometimes I leave this open because you want fresh air with the humidity so it doesn't hurt. to leave fresh air, but I do have a 4-inch AC Infinity fan that runs for 20 minutes every hour. I do need a bigger fan. Really, I need to be like a 6-inch fan. And but it's over here. You got a little dial thing to control it. You got an air conditioner. We got air filtration. They're all to this tent here. The air conditioner is off right now, but during the summer it needs to run because this tent needs to stay at 65 degrees or less. So that's the prime temperature, but it's really hard to when it's 90 degrees outside. So you can see now, open it back up, this whole room, see now is completely full of this fine mist fog. So it's a really fine fog because it actually sits in the air. It doesn't fall to the ground like heavier fog. So that's the great thing about an atomizer, is that it actually uses these discs. I'm not really sure how it works. I don't make them. It's very scientific, but these discs and electricity, and somehow it makes fog with electricity. So I don't know, but they're amazing things. You can find them on Amazon for a relatively easy price now. Thanks for the tag there, Chuck. Yeah, that's the fruiting chamber. That's basically the heart and soul of the business, but I say that about every part of it because we're moving to the mushroom lab now, and without that either, I can't really do mushroom work either. So this is also another part of it. This is the holding station where all the mushrooms kind of sit for a couple days. Actually, these sit for 2 months. These are shiitake mushrooms, and they'll sit here for about 2 months until these actually start turning brown and orange. We also grow blue oyster, pink oyster, elm oyster, golden oyster, lion's mane, and those all take anywhere from 7 to 20 days. So they sit on some of these lower shelves. But altogether, I can fit probably 100 to 200 bags down here pretty easily. And these are actually the bags that grow the mushrooms before they actually go into the fruiting chamber that I just showed you. So pretty neat how it all happens. And all the equipment it kind of takes. It's kind of a complex thing once you learn it. But once you learn it, it actually seems pretty simple, but it is very intimidating to get into mushroom growing. I'll make sure there's no echo in here because I have another. Now I'm near the other phone, so I don't want it to echo. And if somebody hears an echo, let me know. I heard an echo when I came in, but I don't hear it anymore. Hey, Wayne, what's going on? Rasta, Macy, how you guys all doing? Oh yeah, I didn't even make it official. Yeah, look at this. This T-shirt my friend got me. Wrong side. It says Dan the Mushroom Man. So let me move that up a little. There you go. That's better. You can see through the light somewhere. There we go. Dan the Mushroom Man. It actually says. You can see the back of it. So it's pretty awesome. A friend got me that, and I much appreciated. I do hear that echo. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Echo. It's gone now. Thanks. All right, I don't hear the echo anymore. I didn't want to hear it, but I don't think you guys can hear it. But anyway, this is the lab. This is actually it's actually 2-part rooms. And I actually built one of these rooms, and then I still hear an echo. Let me see if I can get rid of it. Echo. I think that did it. Fixed it. There we go. No more echo. Sometimes you just have to turn the echo cancellation off, and then it actually fixes it. But again, this is actually part of my lab. It's empty right now. This is actually kind of the room where I grow magic mushrooms, but I haven't been growing any of those for quite a while now. I have a lot of reasons why I don't grow them anymore. Life is good, and it's still a very serious felony to grow magic mushrooms. So I kind of quit growing them for those reasons, and I don't need them as much anymore. So, but this was the room I kind of used to grow magic mushrooms in, and now it's part of the lab. So this is a 5x10 tent. In here, it's a iPower tent, and they have these big doorways that you can open up on the side of the tents, which I did here. And I opened up into this homemade room that I made out of plastic and 2x4s. And it's worked very well. It kind of expanded the lab a little until I actually moved my lab into another bedroom in my house. So. The landmine. Just reading the comments. Appreciate you guys coming in. Don't forget that reaction button. Hit that brain fog button. I'm giving away a bottle of lion's mane, and we're gonna get cleaned up here. And we basically have a jar here. Sorry, 1 gallon of some bleach water, and I'm just gonna clean off a couple things. It's time to glove up. And we're going to turn the fan on now. I know you guys can't hear it, but there's a fan that actually comes on. And you'll see it. This machine got puff up here. So we're going to turn that on now. But luckily you guys can't hear it. It is kind of a buzz in here. We just got a little bleach water. We're just going to clean this table off real quick. We just want to make sure everything's clean. Even some of our tools. We got all these lab tools we got in here. And the most important thing is your marker. Got to do a lot of marking while you're in here making this stuff. So make sure you clean everything you use, because all it takes is one germ to ruin all your stuff. This is also a machine we use. It's actually how we tie up our bags. It's this vacuum sealer. It's not a vacuum sealer, but it's a heat sealer. It's a very important part of the business too. If you don't have one of those, it's really hard to do mushroom cultivation. You can buy them on Amazon for about $25, so they're not too badly priced if you ever want to get one. Here it is right here. And we're going to set this up right in front of our work area. And I hope you guys can hear me. Now it's time to put the lab jacket on too. So now we have the full t-shirt, Dan the Mushroom Man, the lab jacket. I mean, we got the whole get up going now. With the Christmas hat, you know. And the lab jacket is important too, because basically I come in very, very clean, but there may be something inside the basement that I'm not aware of. You know, sometimes things grow, there's germs everywhere, and putting this lab jacket on that's already been in the lab, it's makes it a lot more sterile. So I actually put this in the dryer an hour ago to actually heat a little bit of it and kill any germs on it. So and we have a whole bunch of stuff to do in here. So my business makes grain bags. What a grain bag is basically how you, let's say it's the carrier. It's the carrier of the mycelium. That's the best way to explain it. This is not where it's going to grow in. This is actually what we use to spread it to areas where it's going to grow. Because you want it to colonize but you want to be able to break it up. So this grain, basically, the mycelium will grow in here, and it'll end up looking like this. Now this is aged a little bit. This is like 4 or 5 months old. It's got enzymes and metabolites in it that you can see in it. It's still good mycelium. That's just what it does, and it also has killed a couple of contaminations. So it'll get attacked by other things, but it ends up killing them. So it just turns them black. Very interesting how it all works. So we're gonna do some of those. Got 6 bags of those, and this is where our meat of the business is. So this 3-pound bag will turn into 30 pounds of mushroom. This 3-pound bag will turn into 30 pounds of mushrooms for my business. So these are the actual growing blocks. This is soy hull and hardwood pellets. This is actually where the mushrooms grow out of. And this is the final home for the mushroom. So these are the blocks. These are my commercial blocks. I do not sell these to the public. They weigh 10 pounds. They're too heavy to ship, too heavy to haul around. So this is my commercial business bag. And then I have smaller bags that I actually do sell. And we do have some smaller bags as well. These are 4-pound bags. These grow about 2 to 3 pounds of mushrooms over 3 flushes. Now this is a shiitake block. It only flushes once. But shiitakes are pretty awesome mushrooms. These are different ingredients than the other blocks. The shiitakes require slightly different ingredients or percentages in the soy hull and the hardwood pellets. They like a lot less nutrition and a lot more of the hardwood. So it's interesting how they all grow differently. So now that we're all ready to go, and again, this is what we're going to go to as we go along here. This is just 70% alcohol, and we do spray a lot of our stuff off with this. I do spray it into the rag. I found out it's important to do that. To make sure you spray the alcohol into the rag, because this stuff goes airborne and you'll get high. And I've done it a few times. I've come out dizzy and not understand why. So I've learned to spray it on the rag. Don't spray it on the bag, because once you spray it on the rag, it doesn't go airborne, kind of. So now this is nice and wet with alcohol. So that was the issue. I was kind of spraying it, and when you spray it, shit flows everywhere. You inhale some of it, and alcohol is not a good thing to inhale for a period of time. So we got our rag all ready, and we're going to do some bags. So we got some blue oyster containers. These are actually kind of old, so I'm going to use all this old stuff up, and we're going to put this into here. I'll show you how I do it. What's going on, Mikey? How you doing? Just doing some work over here. So again, we want to make sure this rag is soaked. Have everything down. It's going to kill most of the stuff that's on it. Before you underneath that jar, it's important to get into these bags. You got to get under there. They're in there. And now we're going to open it up and dump it in. And we're going to need a tool for this. We have a couple tools that we can use to jam in there. And we're going to use this device here. And we're just going to jam it into the jar to break this stuff up, because it's going to be really compact, especially being in there for 3 or 4 months. sealed. If you didn't know me, watch me in the past, I don't really say a lot when I have a bag open, because your mouth has the most amount of germs, and if I kind of talk, I'll blow germs into my bag here. It doesn't matter how many times you brush your teeth a day. We all have bacteria in our mouth. It accumulates a minute after you brush your teeth, and it's a normal occurrence in our body. But it's not good in mushroom cultivation. And we have to adjust the settings a little bit because we haven't done this for about a month, so the knob has moved. And we have to get it at the right temperature to seal it. And I think we're there. We're good. So now we're going to shake it all up. What we put in there, we're just going to, shake up and we want it to spread around what's in there. So we put a whole bunch of mycelium in there that has the blue oyster species of the mushroom in it. And these are just grains at my local farm and home supply. Any grain will really work. You just want to soak them in water and for 24 hours. And what I do is lay these out on a table to dry. So you want the exterior to be dry, but the inside of the grain to have water. And if anybody wants instructions on how to make grain, I have the recipe. So it's pretty easy to do once you nail it down. Good to go there. And we're going to write our blue oyster species on there so we know what it is. What's today's date? And what is today's date? It is the 26th, right? And this is going to be used for future use. It's going to be good to go in about 10 days. So we're going to put it up here. We're going to get rid of some of our old stuff today. Because we haven't been mushroom farming for about 2 months, 2-3 months, say. So we're just about to get kicked up again. So I have to kind of these mushrooms going again, I guess. So we're gonna do some blue oyster, and then we have some elm oyster. We're gonna get those species started again because those are two mushrooms that I grow a lot of. So we got 2 bags of the blue oysters we're gonna do. Again, thanks guys for joining me. Don't forget to hit that reaction button. We got a giveaway there. # brain fog. Gonna give away a month's supply of some lion's mane to somebody. Lion's mane is a great stuff. I gave a lot of it away for Christmas, and I'm going to continue to give it away. So, all right, so we're going to dump this blue oyster into this bag now. So. And we got it sealed. I usually do a double seal because you don't want these things to break open by shaking it. You can have a mess very quickly inside one. So we got 2 seals going. That's good. We're going to give it a good shake now. And this is what happens when it kind of accumulates over time. You can see that big mass of mycelium. I'm going to try to break that up a little better. And we'll give it a good shake. And with that, all that stuff will go to the bottom of the bag. And this is a super aggressive mushroom. This mushroom grows super fast. This is the blue oyster species. It will colonize this bag within a week, and it'll be ready to go. We're going to write the BO for blue oyster. Put the date on it, and set it on the shelf. And then these jars get set aside, and they get reused again in the inventory that I have. So, yeah, some different elbow oysters here, and we got a jar there. So we're going to use the rest of this bag. Sometimes I have a little bit left over here, so this is actually elbow oysters. Yeah. We're going to dump it into another grain bag, so we have another 3 pounds of grain going. And like I said, 3 to 4 pounds of grain is going to grow my business 30 pounds of mushrooms. So this one bag will grow 30 pounds of mushrooms for my business. So these are very important as well to make sure that I do these correctly. Because if I lose one of them, I lose, obviously I don't lose that much money. I just lose the potential to make that much money off of it. So trust me, I've been mushroom farming for about 2 years, and I probably ruined about 40 of these. So, even if you keep ruining stuff, you throw it in your garden as fertilizer. Shit happens, move on, improve your technique, and get better at it. That's all you got to do. Just got to keep doing it. Mushroom farming is not forgiving. It really is not. And people get into it not realizing how hard it is, and then they end up quitting and the shit goes south, You just gotta fight through those moments. So just make sure everything's clean here before we open it up. These bags have been in here in a while, so there might be some dirt on it. It's 70% alcohol, rubbing all over it. And now we're going to open up this bag and dump it in there. And when we open these bags up, anything, never want to touch the inside of the bag. So this is why I opened it up like this, pull the two sides apart, and then we really open it up. There we go. And we're going to need some scissors here. Again, everything needs cleaned off. We got to clean the scissors off. I also have some hand sanitizer, which I need to start using more of instead of the alcohol. That stuff's a lot safer for me. Rub that all over our hands. This stuff was hard to find for 2 years. I'll tell you what, I'm in mushroom cultivation. I could not find these anywhere during COVID. So I finally found some big jars of actual Germ X brand stuff. But it took a couple of years. And we're going to seal her up. One thing I forgot here was a trash can, which I may need to go get. And we're going to double seal that bag up. And this is elm oyster. And you may ask, how do you know the difference between all the species? And the thing is, I don't. But each mushroom species actually has a certain smell. So this is the elm oyster. It actually smells a little more nutty and woody, as in the blue oyster mycelium smells more like the forest, I guess you could say. They all have their own odor. The golden oyster actually smells like a melon. It's an interesting smell. It always smells like a melon. But you can actually buy different species of mycelium on the internet and then spread them into your own inventory. That's what I did. I buy a lot of my stuff on Etsy. Etsy is probably your best bet to find mushroom mycelium for a reasonable rate. So, other than that, that's the only thing I use for Etsy. I buy my mushroom mycelium off of the other mushroom farmers. Again, that each mushroom farmer kind of has their own way to grow it. their own technique. So once they grow that species for a while, it actually kind of evolves into that environment, and it may actually taste differently than somebody else's blue oyster mushrooms. These are all indoor grown species. You can't really try to grow them outdoors. They won't survive. They've evolved to grow indoors in these environments that I make myself and control. There we go. We got some L Moisture grain bag right here. This is 3.5 pounds of grain. This is going to make my business about 30 pounds a month. I spelled it wrong. Again, I'm just going to write EO for L Moisture and write the date on it, and then we're going to set it up on our shelf. Wait for it to colonize. So we have some other bags too that can really do much, which I didn't think they would, but they are growing. This is the shiitake bag that's not really growing very fast. But these bags were actually like a month old when I tried it, so they probably don't have any water on them. But you can see here it's colonizing, and this is the reason I changed my bags. This bag is way overloaded. You can see how overloaded this is. So this was another change I just made last week. Smaller bags, ability to shake it a lot more. This is what happens when you can't shake it. You can see half the bag is colonized and the other half isn't. So it stops about right here, and I couldn't shake it anymore. But we're gonna give it another shake. Anytime you actually grow mushroom species, you can shake it once it's reached half of its growth. Give it a good shake. It's perfectly fine. You're not going to kill it. You're not going to destroy anything. That's actually how you make it grow more aggressive. So the way mycelium works is it's actually a network. It actually finds the other single cell organism of an actual mycelium, because mycelium is a single cell organism that connects to another single cell organism and makes basically a chain. And once they find another one, they basically keep searching out for more, and they just branch out faster when you do that. So when you shake it up again, it starts to search again, starts to spread again, looking for those other single cell organisms when you break it all up, because they want to be a colony. That's the thing about mycelium, is they survive as a colony. These single cell organisms make a massive organism underground, that actually end up growing mushrooms. And there are a lot of people who have claimed that this stuff in this bag has some kind of intelligence. They've done a lot of studies on it, and it seems true. The mycelium under the ground is some magical stuff, man. And without this stuff in this bag, we wouldn't even be living here. I would not be talking to you if this stuff in this bag did not exist. But mycelium and mushrooms. We got it a good shake now. It'll start growing again in a couple days, and I could give it another shake, but I think I got more of it to the bottom now. So this is the shiitake. Actually, this is blue oyster from a month ago. I don't know if that's correct. But this is the shiitake. Sorry. So we're gonna give the shiitake a good shake now. These are from 1129. They actually grow faster than that, and that's why when I say that I'm trying to get these mycelium revamped, is when they sit stagnant for a while, the mycelium actually grows into a stagnant growth stage that could take a couple weeks to reinvigorate. So once I do a couple transfers of these, the growth rate will start to kick back up. It'll go back into a growth rate instead of a stagnant kind of crawled out. And you want it to be aggressive, especially if you're in the production of growing mushrooms. You want your species to grow as fast as they can, but you also want to keep your quality, What's going on, Sandra? How you doing? A new slogan for me? Mycelium, but I'll share. Funny man, Chuck Rock. There we go. We got some more of that shiitake going. That bag's going to take a couple weeks to colonize. That was my fault for not putting a lot of it. We also do have some psychedelic species down here. Here's some B+. It probably is illegal for me to own this, but it's mycelium. There's no way they could tell it's a psychedelic. It's the sticker on it, So this is the B+ species. The orange and yellow are actually enzymes that mycelium produces over time to fight off bacteria and antibiotics and other things. So it's completely natural for your mycelium to look like that. You can see this stuff is 3 months old. So if your mycelium ever starts to turn like that, don't worry. It's not contaminated. It's just it's an enzyme that it produces. Most species do. So we got some Pearl King too that I found. Some of these species go bad when they sit here for a while, so I may have to buy some more chestnut. This actually used to be chestnut mushrooms, and it's gone completely south. I wouldn't even want to try to spread that. It just doesn't look good. So, I'm probably gonna have to spend $20 again and go buy another bag of mycelium from another company. And once I have their bag in it, it's just like owning a clone. I can clone it out and keep it in my inventory and not let it stagnate like that. But the chestnut is a very interesting mushroom that I have not conquered yet. I haven't completely conquered how to grow it, so it's something I'm still improving on. So now we're gonna we got 2 blue oyster bags. You also have to be wary of when you have an inventory because you don't want to make too much. Make that. We got 3 bags of blue oyster. So we got 3.5 pounds times 3. We got 10 pounds of blue oyster mycelium that's going to be spreading. That's enough to grow about 80 pounds of mushrooms pretty easily. I think we're going to do some of the golden oyster now. So this is a jar of golden oyster. Then we'll do the shiitake. And this is actually a very interesting mushroom. It actually smelled like melon when I opened it up. And you can actually see it tried to grow a couple mushrooms right here, but they just die out because they're inside of a jar. Well, there's a perfect one there. It actually looked kind of a spore print. On the side of the jar there, you can see it. It actually grew the mushroom. And that would be the underside of the cap. But pretty interesting. It's like a fossil of a mushroom. There you go, raw stuff. Still driving around, trimming some buds. Again, we're just going to do the same thing, dump it in there. We're going to put the whole jar in there because this is not as aggressive as the species of blue oyster. So I want to put more in there to make sure that it actually colonizes. And it's been in here for 5 months. It's kind of spelled out for sure. So dump it in there. I bet that mycelium was happy to get out of that jar. It's stuck in there for 6 months, wanting to grow on something else. And it had the correct odor to it, so I know it's a healthy mycelium because it actually smelled like a melon. And like I said, each mycelium has its own odor to let you know that's kind of healthy or unhealthy if it kind of smells weird. That one did had a little bit of a weird odor, but it's because it's old. But I still smelled the melon. So we're gonna shake it up really well. Make sure we spread that mycelium out and break it up really well. And this is the golden oyster species. It's a pretty yellow mushroom. Great tasting too. It's probably only in 5 or 10% of my inventory, so I don't grow it a lot. There were probably only a few weekends where I actually had it at the farmer's market. But it's something I want to grow more of. We put some GO for golden oyster on that. Got some golden oyster now. And now we're actually going to do some grow bags too. We need to do those, and this is probably what we're going to use. This is a huge bag of pure blue oyster mycelium. It's kind of getting aged, but it's all good to go. I don't see any contaminants, anything that's kind of working. So break it up. We actually punch it, and we're going to break all those grains up. Sometimes punching is the easiest way to do it. You spin it, punch it, spin it. You don't want to break the bag open, so don't punch it hard. But now we're getting that broken up. And I may have actually punched a hole in it. We're just going to be careful here. So thank you guys for joining me tonight after the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I certainly did. I think I had a good Christmas because I chose to have a good Christmas. I think people don't realize how powerful just mindset of just being happy is. You have to choose to wake up every day and be happy. It doesn't just happen, I know there's a lot of people struggling out there, and I'm definitely just thinking about you guys all Christmas too. In positive ways, if anybody's struggling out there. 2024, the year turns around. There we go. That bag's ready to go. We need to choose what we have. 2 more grain bags left. And I have to be really picky about what I want to use it for. So I do want to use it for shiitake. Well, we have 1 shiitake jar here that we're going to break up and put in there. And there's some good mycelium in here. This is this one that actually turns brown as it gets older. So it actually has little brown marks. You can see how much it's shrunk. There's actually space on all the sides now because it actually shrunk so much. It's definitely shrinking because it ate all the nutrients. And it just sucks all that in like tight as a fist. So it's going to be a little hard to break that up, but we can do it. Again, we just keep our table clean too. Wipe everything to the floor. I clean the floor usually once a week during the season. I actually cleaned it right before we went live here. And make sure all the tools get clean. Even the bottle of alcohol, make sure that's get clean. Never know where germs are at. All right. And make sure this bag's nice and sterilized. We're going to dump some shiitake in there. You didn't notice I did smell it. I do try to smell it every time because not only am I trying to see if it's healthy, but I'm also trying to teach my brain what it smells like. So then, as I continue my path down mushroom cultivation, I kind of know what smell each strain has. So I'll be growing 15 different mushrooms. And I think it's good for my brain to connect the smell to that, you know, because their smells are very powerful, and I know about 4 or 5 species now and what they smell like. My brain does as well. So that way, when you grow them, you can smell something bad in it, and you'll smell it if it smells foul or not normal. And this is the shiitake. It smells really earthy and woody. You can smell the enzymes in it, the metabolites too, as well. So because it's been sitting for a while. I'm gonna give it a nice shake. Really spread that grain around. And that's the most important thing. Make sure you date it. Mark it. Because if you don't know what it is, how are you going to grow? And my initials for shiitake is SHI. I could make mine the initials shit and make it shiitake. All right, we got one bag left, and we got 3 L moistures. Some of these shiitake bags aren't very good. Like this one doesn't look very good, and I'm probably going to toss it. There's still mycelium in it, but I can smell it. It smells a little funky too. That's what happens when some of them sit for a while. Some of the species just go bad. Now I do have this other shiitake block that was the same age. That looks way better. You can actually see the mycelium in it very easily. And I'm going to shake this up, and we're going to grow some. We're going to put this into another colonized bag, and then we're actually going to put it into its final place, its resting place, where they're going to grow at. So we're just going to break that bag up and break it up really good. More hand sanitizer on, and we're going to clean that really well. Sometimes this is what you get when this is the slime that accumulates. So what happens is the mushroom actually produces an enzyme, and then it kind of saturates the grain, and the grain turns mushy, and then it gets kind of slimy, and that's what happens over time. That's why you don't want to leave them in here too long. You want to keep a fresh inventory. And next year I'll get better at that when I go into the slower season of storing my mycelium better. And we'll just clean that slime off of there. Yeah, one last bag here, some grain. And we're gonna dump about 8 to 12 ounces of grain into this empty bag of grain. We're gonna put mycelium in here into the empty bag. That's gonna, the mycelium will continue to colonize. And these are all sealed up, so I have to cut them open. Usually try to keep the top very clean where I'm going to cut open. I'm going to cut a little slice so I can dump it out. And make sure the scissors are clean. Kind of make a little nozzle there to dump it out, just like that. I dumped a whole bunch in there. I actually dumped extra more because it did smell a little funky. I think it's fine. It's the shiitake one, and it does smell always a little weird. But if you put more mycelium in it and anything else grows, it has a higher chance of killing off whatever contaminates it if it has more mycelium. So just think of mycelium as an army, and the more that army accumulates, the stronger it becomes until it fully inoculates this bag, and that's when it has the ability to pretty much kill anything. So just think of mycelium like that. It's an army, and the more it accumulates, the more stronger it is to fight off any kind of threat to its existence. And from what I've seen, it seems a lot of the blue oyster species they'll accumulate the whole bag, and if anything else grows in it, they'll surround it, and then they attack it, and then eventually they end up killing it, whatever is the contamination, and then the spot will turn black. So, say if it's trichodermia that grows the spot in here, the mycelium will eventually surround it and then attack it and kill it. From what I've seen, just from my observation, it seems to be like a human. And then we have some more shiitake grain colonized here. Now the rest of the grain is going to go into bags that we're going to grow shiitake out of. So we do have another grain bag here. But it's been in here a while, but I will use it anyway because they do grow. We're just going to make sure we use an aggressive species, probably the elm oysters, that we're going to have to do here in a minute. So we're going to move this stuff out of here now. So we'll do the shiitake bags real quick because that's what we have out here on the table. The doctor bringing on the ground. And clean our hands again. Clean your hands all the time. Appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Don't forget to hit that brain follow. And if not tonight, it's actually 12:30 p.m. I've had too many days off when I've lost track of what time it is, what day it is, and it sucks. But this I can't be roofing in the winter, and I understand. So, but it's nice to have all this time off and be able to do whatever I want. But eventually March is going to hit, and my life is going to be fucking insane. I'm going to be working a job where I have to work 50 to 60 hours and then run a mushroom business on Saturdays at the farmers markets every week. So wish me luck, but I think I can do it. So we got some large stock bags. Got one. So this is a large stock bag. We're going to dump a whole bunch right in here. Get this going here. Let me start sitting here and getting tired. I got a chair right here. Again, we're going to dump extra in there because it's grain is kind of questionable, but it'll grow. It smells good there. So now that I dump the whole bag out, it smells a lot healthier. We're going to double seal these up for sure. These are the final resting place for the mushroom. This is where it's going to sit for the next 3 months. It's important that this thing is sealed or you'll lose all this hard work, you know. So we got a nice double seal you can see there. We're going to give it a good shake. Basically, you know, we're going to make that grain go to the bottom. This, you want to really spread evenly here. It's very important that you shake it good. And usually, I like to take a seat. Which I can here. And then I usually shake it. It's not easy to shake it to get them down. And we want to get it to where we don't see any grain, but yet we see grain at the bottom. We want that grain to be at the bottom and everywhere. And now I don't see any grain at all. It's all buried inside of the growing medium. And this growing medium is hardwood pellets, 70% hardwood pellets, and 30% soy hull pellets, which soy hull is like the outside of a soybean that the producers kind of discard. It's not worth much. I actually get like 500 pounds of soy hull for like $80 usually. They usually get about 500 pounds, and they bag it up in about 10 bags. And I take it home with me for pretty relatively cheap. And it's a discarded item. I'm the only one that really buys it. I went in there and bought it, and they're like, nobody's bought this stuff in 8 months. And I basically buy their stuff that they struggle to sell, and I use a lot of it. So we got a nice block here. You can see this camera here. Now we're gonna make sure that this is really compact. So it's important that the mycelium has contact with other stuff by it. So it's important you can use the compact. So what I do is I kind of push it down and spin the bag. Push it down, spin the bag. And we're gonna push it down without breaking the bag. We want to make sure we do not punch in the bag. And we just push around the edges. Then we're gonna get the torque on the inside. You gotta push, dampen it down on the inside so it's nice and compact. These are actually this size because I can stack them in my fruiting chamber and save room. So I'll stack 2 of these bags on top of each other in my fruiting chamber and grow them up. All right, we're just gonna write the date on it. That's when we have inoculated this bag. This bag will not be ready to produce fruit until February 26th. It takes anywhere from 7 to 8 weeks in the colonization zone with the shiitake. And that is the reason why shiitake mushrooms cost more, is because they take longer to grow. They take the space up in our inventory where we could be growing other mushrooms. So the price of mushroom is actually based on how long it takes to grow. There are mushrooms that take 2 years to grow, and those are some of the most sought after mushrooms on the market. They usually are the chaga, which runs for $60 a pound. That is one of the most expensive mushrooms on the market, even more else. So chaga actually takes 2 years to mature, and you actually have to have a forest to grow it on as well. So it takes a lot to do that. Then that shiitake bag goes on our outside storage space out there. It'll store there on a little shelf there for 2 months. And now we're going to do some regular bags. And we're going to do some L moisture bags. We have some over here that was already ready to go. Blue oyster. So we got some blue oyster we're going to dump. And we're going to do some blue oyster mushroom bags. Again, these are my 10-pound bags. I do not sell these, but they produce anywhere from 4 to 6 pounds of mushrooms for my business. They'll fruit once, grow about 3 pounds, fruit a week, 2 weeks later, with about 10 days later with another 1.5 pounds, and then a third flush for usually 1 pound. So you're usually getting about 5 pounds with these 10-pound blocks. Rag's getting a little dirty. That's why I keep extras in here. Or you just fold it up. What's going on, Shannon? How you doing? Elisa Moyer, thank you for joining me. Oh, I'm sure Becca appreciates that. And you don't have to stay here if you hash and dash. It's not a big deal because sometimes I go live on these, live in the labs for 4 or 5 hours if I'm doing, because I'm working, so sometimes I stay in here a little long. Hell yeah. That actually depends on where you live and what season it is. So, like, if you get fresh morels in the middle of winter, you could easily sell them for $75 a pound because they're more sought after, obviously in the winter. Not sought after, there's just less on the market. So, yeah, it really depends on where you live and the price of those. So, just like chagas, if you pick fresh chagas, there's probably places where you can sell them for $150 a pound. Because there are people who realize its medical values, the chaga mushroom. it's a mushroom I can't ever grow indoors. Like I said, it takes 2 years. You actually have to have special trees. You have to have forest, and you drill. And the chaga mushroom is actually a parasitic mushroom, so it'll actually slowly kill your trees, is what I understand. All right, let's throw some blue oysters now. Let's get excited about the mushroom season. It's about to start here. Even though the spring's not here, this is where we start making our inventory, because some of these take months to do. So here we go. You can open this bag up, rub it in. Usually don't dump that much in there, but I had to because these are, like I was saying earlier, these mushroom species get stalled out when they sit for a while. So I went with a full pound of grain instead of my normal half pound that I go when it's aggressive. So it's kind of, as mushrooms mycelium stalls out, like say in this jar, this is from September 12th, and it kind of stalls out, and eventually it stops growing and goes into a stallment stage. And it takes a few weeks of adjustment to make it grow more aggressive. So once it gets more aggressive, I literally have colonies that happen that'll fill the whole bag up in 3 or 4 days, like that aggressive. And look, these are double seal bags as well. We're going to double seal everything we do. Some companies single do it, because when you're doing a lot of bags, as you get more into the season, saves time, but the bags could break. So again, we're going to show you, do a little shaking, and in order to really get this good, you basically want to put your fingers on the side of the bag and squeeze in the grain, and then pull the bag away from the medium, and the grain will actually fall to the side, to the bottom. And this was a big issue when I first started doing mushroom cultivation, with how do I spread the grain around. And there's not like a how-to video on YouTube about how do you spread grain around properly in a medium bag. So you kind of had to learn your own technique, and I had to learn how to do it, then I had to learn how to do it properly. Because you can learn to do something, but whether you do it correctly or not, it takes time, skill, and a lot of experience. You have to keep doing it in order for your brain to actually become a normal part of the brain's activity. A lot of the stuff I did when I first did it, I sucked. Like, now I make it look easy because I've practiced it so many times. It's in my head now. I don't even have to look up my recipe. I don't have to look up my technique. But I struggled at the beginning, man, mightily to grow mushrooms. So to do it at the ease I am now, I'm really proud of how far I've come in my mushroom cultivation skill. I've talked to a few people. I have people who see what I'm doing, and I know it's only a matter of time before I have competition. And I've talked to 2 other people who actually tried to grow a mushroom business and they failed. They gave up. It's not easy. And you'll end up messing up a lot of stuff, and you think you can't do it, and you give up. But you have to continue to keep doing it. Sometimes you're going to lose a lot of money. But that's the school of hard knocks, isn't it? We all spend a lot of money in the school of hard knocks. Hey, Becca, how you doing today? Who's coming over for dinner? I'll be there in 2 hours, Ross. Switch this down again. We got it nice and spread out. And we
you don't spread it out evenly, what's going to happen is the block will actually get half of it will inoculate, the other half won't. And you can't really shake these bags because these are the final resting place for the mycelium. And eventually this bag becomes like concrete. It's really hard to break up, especially when the mycelium spreads. You gotta make sure to try it. That's blue oyster. Blue oyster until December 26th. And this goes back out to our storage shelf as well. And we're going to do another bag, another few bags. Definitely need 2 bags for inventory. So start slowly producing mushrooms again. Almost lost the break. I almost dumped the grain bag. That wouldn't have been good. I've made big messes before. Thank you. If that gets stuff on, smash that like button. Appreciate it. Getting that giveaway, some brain fog, some lion's mane. That's what the hashtag is for. It's for the month supply of lion's mane. Here we go. We got a double seal. Right to the bush run and give her a good shake. And again, we're just trying to get the grain to the bottom of the bag really, and then we're going to shake it. We got a whole bunch of grain coming down here. And I did put a lot of extra grain in it. But you could literally put 4 grains in here and it would grow. It would just take a lot longer. So the more you put in it, the faster it'll actually build its back to the point it'll actually start growing mushrooms. So at least with the blue oyster now, the shiitake, it doesn't matter how much you put in it, it's going to take 2 months. And now that we got the grain everywhere, we're going to keep shaking it. And we're just going to toss it around and make sure so we don't see any grain left. Really wants to be moving inside. And this will actually be ready to grow mushrooms in 10 days. In 20 days, I'll have 3 pounds of mushrooms out of this bag in 20 days. So the blue oyster is very fast. Again, I sell these smaller bags, which I'm going to do 2 of these too. These sell for $20 on my website, and they will grow 2 to 3 pounds of mushrooms at home. I don't remember how much they are to ship, but I think it's like $27 in shipping. So if you're not local to me. And I make those bags fresh, so if you order one, I usually make it and ship it out in 3 days. So you're going to get a really fresh bag when you get one. That's going to be pretty much by the time you get it almost ready to grow mushrooms. And they come with instructions too. I also have a video of how to grow these at home that I can share with you. It's pretty simple. There we go. We got a blue oyster bag. We're going to stick that on our shelf outdoors. And now we're going to do one of our small bags. These are our free. They actually weigh 4 pounds. Once I put the grain in them, they're going to be about 4.10 ounces. Sorry, 4.75 pounds. Maybe we'll get a trash can. I'll be right back. Kind of made a mess, so I don't want to dump a whole bunch of grain on the ground. All right. Glove has a hole in it too. Sometimes happens, and I got to change the glove out. Got a hole in the rubber. Yeah, definitely wear gloves because your fingers, I don't care how clean anybody keeps their fingers, there's still germs in there under your nails. So that's the most important thing. You don't do this without gloves for sure. This is actually the best time of the year to learn how to grow mushrooms because the winter time has actually the least amount of bacteria and the least amount of trichodermia in the air because a lot of bacteria and contaminations actually survive over 76 degrees or more. So once the temperature reaches 76 degrees, chances of contamination, chances of anything in the atmosphere actually improve by 300%. So that's like the temperature that a lot of bacteria really like, and the temperature that you really want to avoid in any kind of mushroom farming situation. So if you do any kind of mushroom farming, you want to keep it about 3 degrees under 76. If it gets above 76, you need to start worrying about contaminations because you may think they don't exist or they're not there, but they may be waiting to be properly the right temperature in order to grow. So a lot of people don't realize that is that a lot of stuff has micro bacteria in it, and when it gets under the right conditions, it'll just pop up even if you sterilize it. Just a speck of bacteria can spread. It's pretty interesting how once you start getting into the microorganism world, trichodermia and other fungi, how they can wreck your garden. I had it once happen. It got above 76 degrees in my lab. I did not know it. I lost about 10 bags in a matter of 2-3 days. I had a massive contamination outbreak of black mold, and I had to throw away about 12 bags. Not fun stuff. Trying to get that to the bottom there. Finally did. These are our 4-pound bags. These are going to grow. I'll either sell these or I'll put them in my garden and they'll produce about 2 to 3 pounds. But my main bags are the 10-pound bags that I grow out of. New oysters. And there'll be one more bag we have got for one more bag in there. There you go. And we got our second 4-pound bag now of the blue oyster. And this will grow about 2 pounds of mushrooms, 2 to 3 pounds. I've gotten 3.5 pounds once, so it depends on if you keep moisture or keep them wet, they actually grow a lot more. So. Oh, do you, Joe? Do they help you? Lion's mane always helps me. I sometimes I forget to take it, but the days I do, you can notice the difference. This bag's being a little difficult to shake because it doesn't have a lot of air in it. So someday when I get a bigger machine, I'm gonna actually blow air in this. It'll be a lot easier to shake. Until then, that's good right there. Smash it down again. Make sure we shake everything off the top. And these bags actually have an air exchange on them, but I didn't show you. So mushrooms actually use oxygen and produce CO2 just like humans do. So they need to breathe. So this is right here how they breathe through this air exchange, and that allows air to exchange without allowing contaminations in. We actually share 36% of our DNA with mushrooms, so we're very much related to what's in this bag. Yep. Make sure we write the blue oyster on there. We'll move on to another species. Should we clean the table off again? Did have elm oyster to review. The lion's mane too, but it doesn't look very good. Salty. They'll probably do, we can't do shiitake, we don't have enough of that. You have another jar of elm oyster, which is something in the spray bag that I had. We'll wipe everything down and dump it in. And this grain is really dry, but this is an elm oyster species, super aggressive. It'll actually grow in relatively any kind of medium as long as it has water and nutrients. If it was any other species, I would not do that. This bag I would toss with the elm oyster to take care of it. In there. It had spores in it. It looked like spores. I don't know how spores got in there because it didn't make any mushrooms. So I was checking that out for a second. But it could have grown one small mushroom and dropped spores in there, so that's probably what happened. Interesting. So we'll take this bag up with some of these. This is L moisture. L moisture, yeah, make sure. L moisture species mushroom. This bag's kind of full right now, but this is the last of my big bag. Now all my bags weigh a lot less. It'll be a lot easier to do in the future. What's going on, Steve? Tag him Wayne, what up? Tag him Wayne. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. And I hope everybody's going to have a happy new year. Let's go 2024. I also got a nice surprise for somebody out there this week. So I got a secret. And it'll soon reveal who that person is. So it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned to that this week. All right, we got a good shake there. Should be right L moisture on it. And the date. Now we got our inventory really back up and going. So these in about 2 weeks, I should be back to full mycelium strength. And I have some other stuff over here that looks questionable, so I may buy some more species online. I have no idea what that is. I didn't even label it. That's what happens when you label shit and you don't know what it is. So I can't really grow it. I don't know what it is. So we'll remove some of the older species out of here that we still do have mycelium as well. So we do have the chestnut mushroom right here in a jar. So I didn't quite lose the chestnut. I forgot that I had this. And this is actually the thing I use right here to shake this up. There's actually a metal thing in here. We're gonna give it a nice spin here. You can see it's stirring it up now. So this is my magnetic stirrer that I have. And it's basically, I'm gonna leave it on there for about 15 minutes. It's gonna break up the mycelium, and then next week when I make petri dishes, we'll take it out of there with a syringe and spread it again, so we have our chestnut back in inventory. Getting new kicks put out in my truck. Does that mean new tires, Steve? You get some new tires? But this is actually what happens when the mushroom actually loses its spores too. This is a lion's mane. And it actually has these little pinheads on top right there, you can see. And those are spores that had landed on the mycelium after it grew a mushroom. So it grew a lion's mane mushroom. We're gonna do some L moistures now. We got a bag here. And we're gonna shake it up first, and then we're gonna spread it into its grow bag. And we already did the blue oyster. The L moisture is another mushroom we grow a lot of. And we make it into a soup. So we make our shiitake, our blue, and our L moisture into soup. And we'll probably add more mushrooms onto that as we go along. I would definitely love to have a chestnut mushroom. And sometimes the capsule goes all out of control, so you have to start it and restart it. Started hopping around. You gotta get it that right speed where it won't do that. It'll eventually get there, but I think it's nice and shaken now. The mycelium is broken up, and this stuff is loaded with mycelium, so This is just water and 4% honey. That's what I make my liquid mycelium with. And I sterilize it, and then I inject it my spores or other mycelium as well. So we're going to spread this elm moisture now into its final destination. And you can actually see there was some contaminations in here that the mycelium actually killed and turned it black. So it should be just fine because I don't see anything alive in there besides the elm moisture. But again, we will put extra in it just to be safe. More mycelium makes sure people with better growth rates. It has something in it, you can find it off. So. Thanks for all the tags, tagging Wayne. Appreciate it. Wayne Cruz, I haven't given it out yet, but I probably should here in a second. But let me get this elm moisture here, and I'll give it away an hour and 50 minute mark. There's not much more I can put here besides 2 more bags of these. We'll probably be done in here for today. We got a lot going on this week too. I'm going on to Lake of the Ozarks on Saturday, so I'm excited to spend some time with my family again. My brother too, and his wife, all my nephews. It's gonna be a fun trip. And again, I have somebody else this week, but that's going to be fun as well. And we have the Great River Mushroom birthday or Christmas party on Friday, 8 p.m. And we're giving away 10 different, we got 10 giveaways. So we're going to be giving stuff away every 50 minutes on Friday night. So you definitely have to join us. Big old celebration at the end of the year. I appreciate all you guys helping me get to where I am. Another question, I didn't smell anything, so I think it'll be okay. That's why I usually can fight off contamination. We'll find out. Find out in 3 or 4 days whether there's nothing wrong in it. Some darker grains in there, but I don't see any live contamination. But I'm probably going to toss the rest of that one and just use this other bag, because this other bag looks way better anyway. But that's what we'll do. And that's why we have extra bags too, so stuff like that happens. So I always keep extra bag in inventory, which will make our extra bags next week. Have more in stock. So. But if it doesn't get contaminated, it goes into a special room in my basement, and I wait it out. And sometimes, most of the time, it fights it off, but it takes a little extra time. And then I add it into my inventory once it fights it off. If it doesn't bite it off and it loses, it becomes garden nutrients. Then I dump it into my garden outdoors. Soup and a sandwich. That sounds good. I think that's maybe what I'll have for lunch. Thanks for joining Wayne Cruz, Tag and Wayne, Debbie, and everybody else up here. Appreciate it. There we go. We got a good steak. Press it down and add it to our inventory now. Hopefully in 20 days it's growing mushrooms. Well, more like 12 days. So since we did have a questionable bag, I usually didn't be right then. Let's be sure. And then we'll do this other bag of massive bag of mycelium here. This is the L moisture species. It's been in here since July 5th. It's really, really hard. You gotta break it up as well. We'll get that top part in there. And this one looks like it might have a contamination too, but it actually fought it off. So what I'm going to do is just dump the top half of the bag out. That's probably what we'll do. I'm going to dump a lot of it in there, so just to be sure. So since it is a really aggressive species, what I did was I dumped some of the bad stuff out that looked questionable, and I dumped it out, and it should be okay. I've done this before, and it turns out fine. Any other species, it would not survive. Some of the other species don't have a very strong immune system. Especially the lion's mane doesn't have the greatest immune system. The chestnut doesn't either. But there was definitely some what I refer to as grain black mold. So it's not like the normal black mold you see. It's kind of different. It grows like grain. And it looked like it may have still had a couple live spores in it. So if there are any live spores, I put so much mycelium in here, it'll kill it. And that gets up all the questionable bags in here anyway now, so everything else looks okay. And we still have a lot of inventory to do. It's some bags that I can do later this week. So that's good. A lot of this stuff is going to happen on Sundays, and I'm actually eventually going to look for an employee. So if anybody lives near Quincy and wants to know about mushroom farming, and I'll pay either as an employee or with some of the stuff I actually make. And it's more likely going to be Sunday, like 6 or 7 hours. I'm going to make a majority of my products with somebody, and really knock it down to one day. And then Saturdays are my marketing days where I sell a lot of my inventory. I also want to sell a lot online too, so check out GreatRiverMushroom.com. And check out all the products I sell. I sell like 20 different products. I sell a lot more than mushroom. Thank you, Ruby. I appreciate it. Yeah, Ruby. What's going on, Ophelia? And we got a good shake down here. We got the elm oyster species all ready. Hopefully in 20 days I have mushrooms. There we go. Fried elm oyster. Hanging on it. We're going to dump the rest of this in one more bag, and that's probably all we're going to do. Then we'll give the lot bang away. And then we just wait. You gotta wait for our stuff to grow here in the next 5 to 10 days. And then we move it. But that's what mushroom farming is. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. Unless you're growing 2,000 pounds a month, and then you're moving, you're doing stuff every single day. But my goal this year is to do about grow about 300 to 500 a month. Hopefully, I can do that. Knocking everything over. It happens, knocking everything off the shelf. Again, I'm good. There we go. Then they're sealed up here. And we got another bag ready to grow 5 pounds of mushrooms. Well, that was actually really healthy here. Now I got rid of the contamination at the top. It's really hard and chunky being in there for so long. So we really want the grain to be broken up when we put it in its final home here. So there's a lot of grain in here. I have no doubt that this is going to grow fast. The mycelium is probably very happy now. It finally got put into a home where it can continue to eat and grow instead of stalling out. And we're just trying to get the grain in the bottom of the bag. And there we go. There's a lot of grain in here. I put a lot in, but there was something funky looking in there. So when I put extra in, just to make sure. And also, once these bags are actually baked mushrooms, I'm actually making them into more products as well. So look for that in the spring. I'm going to try to make my own soil line and my own CO2 bags that I've been working on already. I've actually sold a lot of them, but I backed off of selling them because I want to do more experimentation on how to grow them better, make them produce more CO2. Because I can't do it consistently yet. I seem to make bags that make a lot of good CO2 and bags that don't. So I'm working on consistency before I ever sell products to the public. So I pulled my CO2 bags off the shelf, filled in. And I think I understand why, but I have to do some more experimenting to make sure I fix the problem correctly. There we go. We got a nice 100 ounce moisture bag. It's full. It's full of hole in it, so we're going to seal it again. It's full right at the seal, though. Not a big deal. Got a little rough with it. Usually when I have it too, I'll put a few clothespins on it. And add it to our inventory. You got to push it down again, make sure it's nice and compact. Put a hole in it. That's Alright. So that probably pretty much does everything I need to do today live in the lab. Give away some of this lion's mane and go enjoy the rest of our day. I appreciate everybody joining me. Don't forget to hit those likes, reactions, and everything else buttons and share us out so we can help get the word of mushroom education as well as our business and the products that we offer at Great River Mushrooms and Herbal. We also offer our lion's mane, which is our biggest selling product. We sell lion's mane 60 capsules, 500 milligrams for $13, and $19 with shipping, and I can ship pretty much anywhere. And let's get that lion's mane away here. Bring that up here. Appreciate everybody joining me today on this almost a holiday week still, I guess. Christmas is over. And we'll bring that screen up right. There we go. Anybody else want to give that in here? We'll give it 2 more minutes and give it away and get us out of here. So the bags that I make are already sanitized. I actually produce them and then they go into a pressure cooker for 2.5 hours at 15 psi. So yeah, all the grain bags and everything are all sterilized at 15 psi for at least 2 hours. So yes, everything in it is dead already. So there shouldn't be anything inside of it. So you're fine, Jane. Get a few more people in here in the brain fog. We got 27 entries. Appreciate all you guys. Again, join us on next live. Maybe on Thursday. We're actually shooting off a rocket. It's the SpaceX is, and it's a rocket. So I may do a live with that. Otherwise, catch me on Friday at 8 p.m. for our Great River Mushrooms and Herbal Christmas party. We're going to be giving away 10 giveaways then. We're going to have a big old party, come up on screen. Everybody's welcome. And so I'm sure we'll have a nice, good time then. And then I'm getting the heck on vacation for a couple of days at the Ozarks with my family. So it's an awesome week. Appreciate you guys joining me. It's been a good Christmas. So I hope it's been the same for you guys. Appreciate it, tagging Wayne. Appreciate it. Let's hit this giveaway and see who wins it. Good luck, everybody. Perhaps Debbie Langston. Yeah, congrats, Debbie. You don't have to be here. I appreciate you guys stopping by tonight, but Debbie, I'll shoot you a message if you are here. We'll get you that bottle of lion's mane shipped out. But heck yeah, congratulations, Debbie. Some of that. I appreciate you guys all joining me today for another episode of Live in the Lab. Hit that like and share button before you go out of here. So I'll keep watching that. Definitely appreciate you guys all stopping in here tonight. I hope to see you guys on Friday night at 8 p.m. Central for the Great River Mushrooms Herbal Christmas party. I have a lot of giveaways, have a lot of fun, and talk about mushrooms and herbal stuff while we're at it too. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me bring myself up there. Congratulations, Debbie. Oh, there she is. She is here. Well, the message there. Debbie, you winner. Congratulations. Didn't see your name, and then all of a sudden it just pops up. So, shoot you a message, get you that shipped out this week. And everybody have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of the year. 2024 is almost here. You only have one 2023 in your life, so you might as well enjoy it the next 6 days for what it is. So appreciate you guys all joining me tonight. Much love to everybody, and get out there and enjoy the life. See you guys later.